Hey everybody, is it a good idea to put a solar panel on your roof rack? Well, I like to have personally experienced these things, so I have done that recently, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it and hopefully save you some money and a bad setup. This is one of the older Titan trays. I don't know if it's a Mark 1 or a Mark 2, maybe you can tell me. And I'm not doing a review in this video, but they're bloody awesome, and I'm going to talk about some differences between this one and this brand new one in another video. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe, turn the bell on. But should you put a solar panel on your roof rack? Well, I think the answer firstly is each to their own. Everybody's different circumstances and setup ideas and different purpose of the vehicle. So I suppose this is the answer from on our channel, 4x4 Adventures. You get the perspective from someone that's used the actual vehicles with the actual roof racks with a lot of different setups. I've got multiple vehicles. I've had different vehicles for years, tried a lot of different setups extensively, including monitoring and watching other people in the group and see what setups they've got and what works for them and listening to them on what works and doesn't work. And also from a mechanical perspective. So I'm a vehicle technician. We've got another YouTube channel, 4x4 Diesel, spelt the same except Diesel, not Adventures, in case you missed that part. So it's a bit of there's some background to automotive and vehicles as well as camping, not just somebody that's sponsored and paid to sell you a product, or somebody come up with this idea and it looks like a great idea, so everybody goes and puts a solar panel on the roof. Not necessarily the best idea for everyone. Now I'm going to start off with a negative, if you like. So a negative of the solar panel on the roof. So your biggest issue is, if you've got your solar panel up on the roof, you can take those 8 stainless steel hooky things out, and that's around about where your solar panel is going to go, depending what size. It's going to take up a lot of the length of your roof rack and probably 2/3 of the way across it. So you've just spent, for example here, this is one of the best value for money, strong quality, Australian made ridge mount mounting system on the sides, roller Titan tray. So you just spent what, $1,500, $2,000 more or less with accessories and your time, you know, put a value on that as well, to put some extra storage on the vehicle, which the manufacturer said about 100 kilos on road, okay? And then some more money, some solar panels, some wiring, the time to wire it all in. If you do that, then you're definitely going to need something like a DC-DC charger, which is about another $600. It's getting really expensive to charge your battery, isn't it? So this is what I'm talking about. Then what you're going to need to do is damage and devalue your vehicle by parking in the sun all the time to get the sun on the solar panel, which is going to ruin your vehicle, all your exterior trims, moldings, your dashboard. The sun wrecks everything. You want to park in the shade when you can. So a smart camper or a smart vehicle owner, someone that's really efficient, they're not going to have the solar panel on the roof for these obvious reasons. You're just going to have your $200 Kings. Look, you know, I don't care what brands you'll do or don't get. I've got good brands, I've got cheap brands, I've used all this stuff. There's no cash for comment. Nobody's paying me to tell you what's good and what's not. So I'm just going to tell you from real world experience with extensive testing for over a decade with fridges, batteries, solar setups with different solar panels, portable, folding ones, flat panels on the roof, DC-DC chargers, cheap regulators that come with the Kings panels and all that. A 200-watt solar panels from Kings for about $250 is all you need. They do the job. Check all your wires though. They can be a bit crap in your connections, you know, just quality control on the connections. But the panels themselves, you've just got to, you know, no problem. You just got to keep an eye on the actual quality of the wire. It could be worth upgrading by getting some quality Australian wire for your extensions and your Anderson plugs and just redoing all that, because that's where the issue is at. And you can spend $1,000 on some decent panels, where the panels actually do about the same thing. It's just maybe the wiring quality, which is a lot of extra money for different wiring. But let's not go into that too much in this one. The point is, you can park your vehicle in the shade, either in a garage like it is here to look after it, to make it last a lot longer for you, or under a tree when you're camping, or somewhere in the shade, and keep the vehicle cooler, keep it out of the sun. That makes the fridge work more efficiently, and you can put your solar panels in the sun using a 10-meter extension, whatever. You can angle them up, you can hang them off the tree, you can hang them off the side of the car, you can do whatever you want. So in my opinion and my experience, and recently we did copy everybody else. I see a trend where people are going, let's put the solar panel on the roof, and I think about these things and I go, well, this is a bad idea. but let's do it and see what happens. So that's the negative of it. The positive, obviously, it's going to look after your battery. Your battery is going to be always, if you're parked out in the sun, it's always going to be charging your battery. Your battery is going to be topped up. It's beautiful. That's great. So if you're just always got to have your fridge running 24/7 and have cold drinks, and you just insist on that, and you haven't got any other fridges in your workshop, in your house, anywhere else to keep your beers cold, and you've got to have it running all the time. It's good to have it running all the time, but you could have it on a lower setting. You could have it at home on more efficient power, plugged in on AC, because you could probably leave that fridge somewhere wherever you're going to access those beers anyway for the most part. I'm sure there's fridges everywhere you are anyway, unless you're on a trip, right? Think about it. Like, you know, I've got one on the floor here in the workshop setup. I've got one in the car. We've got R&D vehicles, the 120 there. It's got the Engel, been running 11 years. See, a lot of off-topic information, but I hope you get my picture. What goes on the roof? Okay, what does go on the roof? Over on the driver's side there, there's a shovel. The shovel's your number one recovery tool in the top 5. I'll call it number 1 for this video, but it could be number 3, right? You get the picture. A shovel, you can dig your way out of just about anywhere by digging or filling a hole, whatever the case may be. It does help a lot, and of course, it's a portable toilet. Anywhere you go, you can dig a hole. If you've got your dunny roll and your wipes there, make sure you dig it deep enough. Don't leave mess everywhere, please. Bury it or burn it. Do something like that. Don't start a bushfire either. Use your brain. Think about it. Is this dangerous? Is it hot? Is it windy? Is it dry? Dig a hole. Find somewhere else to dig a hole. If you can't dig a hole, it's a rocky and tree roots and there's no way of digging a hole, make sure it's well off the track. It is natural, doesn't really bother me. Go where somebody's not going to be walking, and then bring the paper back and put that somewhere safe in the middle of the track where it's clear of debris and burn it or something like that, right? Whatever. Just think about it. See, totally off topic, but some really good ideas for you to think about. So the shovel has got to go on the driver's side because I've pointed out it's so important. On the passenger side, that's generally where you want your awning. Some people are going to have 2 awnings, no shovel up there. They're going to put their shovel up on top of the roof rack. That's fine. Whatever suits your needs. I'm just giving you some ideas. For me, a nice lightweight, again, that King's awning for 100, 150 bucks, 2.5 meter. It's all you need. You can spend all this money on these big awnings that get caught up in the wind. They're very expensive. They hang a lot of weight off the vehicle, changes the whole handling dynamics. You're going to pay for it in fuel economy as well. Again, so just have a think about that for how much you're really going to use it. And again, it's out in the sun with your solar panel, getting depreciated, getting worn and torn, everything's wearing out. Okay, so then you go away camping. So you got your shovel, you got your awning on the side, awesome. You can throw your swag on top, maybe a gazebo. You could put a tent and a mattress instead of a swag, or a couple of swags. You know, you can move those rings around wherever you want for your storage. But the swags are generally lightweight. Get 2 people to roll them up, get them nice and tight. You're going to be pretty good on fuel economy. We've got fuel economy places showing you actual real world results, how it really doesn't change that much in these vehicles. Taking 2 swags or a tent and a mattress off the roof and putting it in the vehicle made unmeasurable difference in our experiences. Extensive testing, multiple tanks over thousands of kilometers. It's all there in the videos. There's so much info there to get you educated and save your money. It's not funny. So let's say you've got your solar panel up there as I did. What did I do? I never covered the solar panel. As it turned out, for the time that I had it up there, the solar panel was over here where those retaining points are here, right? That's where the solar panel was. This side, it was a 120 watt panel. It did the job okay. If I parked the car in the sun all day, making the car really hot and get depreciated, worn and torn by that sun, which I didn't like the feeling of that. I'd much rather have it like this with an Anderson plug and just run a 10 meter extension, leave the car inside in the shade, in the carport, in the garage, in the workshop, in the shed, under a tree, wherever you've got shade, under a shade sail, and put your solar panel somewhere else. You're cheap, $200 panels because they're just out in the sun, again, getting faded and deteriorated, worn and torn, weather, rain. They're probably not going to last forever, doesn't matter what you get. But I've got a set that's sitting out there. They get blown in the wind, they get blown around, they've been smashed in the wall. They're down to about 50% capacity and they're still on a battery. And I get to know how much solar you need, how many watts to keep that battery charged under what weather conditions, temperatures, fridge settings. So I'm very self-educated on all that info. I spend way too much time on it. So with that solar panel up there, my swag went on the driver's side. It worked well, no dramas. 1 swag, might have even had 2 swags alongside, so it doesn't block too much. But I didn't put anything on top. But my thinking was you could probably put a swag on top of the solar panel. It's probably not going to do too much damage, but as you can imagine, dust, dirt, debris, and then rain and rubbing, it's going to rub a little bit, rough tracks. Maybe it's going to damage the solar panel in the longer term, maybe not. But what did you pay for your solar panel? I had a 120 watt red arc one, so they're not the cheapest, but again, you might get a $150 panel and you don't care, so just put it up there. So it all depends where you're parking each day. If you're parking in the sun anyway, and you want to run a mobile, cafe where you want to sell cold beers to everyone on the side of the road, then put your solar panel on the roof, keep your big fridge in the back, keep it cranked nice and cold, and happy days. But I hope you get my picture. It's quite a negative to have all that expense and then have to park the vehicle in the sun to make it work, and then you can't use your roof rack to store stuff up there, which is stuff that if you've got a family in the vehicle, or big things like swags, they're big, they're long, they can be rolled tight. Like I said, it's not going to add much to your fuel. Get it out of the vehicle, you can still fit people in the car, or it could be a tent or a mattress, whatever. Anyway, I think I've waffled long enough. I think you got the picture. It's mainly a negative, but it's going to work for some people. So depends if you actually travel on trips or if you don't, because if you do, and depends if you're a single person, depends if you're a couple, depends if you're a carload of people. So there's all those variables that I just wanted to get you to think before you see everybody else, oh, the solar panel on the roof, that's a great idea. I had it up there. I tested it on one of our previous 150s that we just sold, and it worked fine, but I don't like it. I won't be doing it again. I've still got the panel there. I might even temporarily put it on the roof. I'm going to fit it off with an Anderson plug, and on some trips where I'm on my own, maybe instead of throwing in those portable panels where I maybe know I'm going to be in the sun, or I don't know what, I'm just leaving it open, flexible, where I can just, when I stop, I just plug in that Anderson plug, right? Instead of putting out the solar panels. But again, I've already covered that. Well, it doesn't seem like a good idea. Sounds like work. It's going to take me 10 minutes to bolt it on the roof. I've got the brackets and that ready to go. And then I've got to get there and plug in. Might as well just get the portable ones out, right? Park in the shade, like I said in the first place. So you know what? If you want to put one on your roof, I've probably got a cheap one here for sale. Not the best idea. 120 watt red arc, whatever. I don't know what they're worth. Have a look at the new price. And it's going to be 40% off, something like that. Cash pickup, Victoria, Melbourne area, whatever. Hope this has helped save you some money and get you thinking about your vehicle setup. We're currently setting up this one at the moment. Those retaining hooks are there to put one swag on. The awning's not on yet. I'll put it on as required. They're all set up ready to drop straight on and off when they're being used. Shovels on. What else is going to be up there? It's just going to be a tent, a self-inflating mattress and a swag, or two swags, or just a tent and a mattress, or one swag, things like that. Swags is what's going to be on the roof. The rest of the gear fits in the car. The shovel's up there out of the way because it's dirty. I don't want it in the car. The awning makes the shade. That's really handy. Only weighs less than 10 kilos, I believe, from memory. So we keep the weight down. The more weight you got on the roof, the worse it is. Once again, we're not talking about rooftop tents, but probably another bad idea. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your experience? Because your experience counts too. This is just my experience, which is extensive, but it doesn't mean yours is worth any less. Thanks for watching. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll catch you on the next video. Hopefully out on adventures soon. Plenty of adventures coming.